how's it going? It's Ultimus, and I am yet again extremely tired. And I just finished eating about a pound worth of French fries, so lethargy is setting in heavily. However, because we ate like a bear, I thought it was appropriate that we talk about Guardian Druids and their artifact weapon. So today we're here to talk about the Claws of Ursoc. I'm a little impressed I tied that together as well as I did, being 3 a.m. But there it is, rolling with it. For starters, we're going to take a look at the equip effect as usual. Your melee abilities cause Blood Claws, dealing 50% of attack power damage over 15 seconds. Blood Claws reduces the damage dealt, oops, mouse, come back, by 3% and stacks to 5. So you get a gnarly buff. Melee abilities, Blood Claws, 50% of attack power over 15 seconds. Oh, never. Okay, I see how this works. So you get that gnarly buff. It's going to do a gnarly bleed on the target. So it does that 50% of attack power damage over 15 seconds. And then it sounds like it's going to reduce the damage the target does by 3%, stacking 5 times, is how I'm reading that. That's interesting. That's a gnarly debuff. Suddenly, just for that equip effect alone, I'm potentially seeing Guardian Druids being desirable flag carriers in RBGs now. Like, as long as RBGs stay a thing in Legion, which I don't see why they wouldn't, but that's intense. Just flat out damage reduction. Again, if you're stacking up to 15%, that's crazy. Wow, that's actually really effective. Rage of the Sleeper is an instant with a 1.5 minute cooldown. Channels the Rage of Ursoc, reflecting 33% of damage to opponents and increasing rage gain and healing received by 33%. Oh, wow. So, 1/3 of the damage you're going to be receiving, essentially, it's going to redish out to opponents. That's crazy, because that's not even just like spells. Like a spell reflect, that's just damage. All damage. 33% of all damage that you're dealt to is going to get shot back out to the opponent. And it increases the healing you receive by 33% and the rage gain. That's intense. 1.5 minute cooldown too. Reinforced Fur increases the effectiveness of Iron Fur by 5, 10, 15%. Ursoc's Endurance increases the duration of your active mitigation spells by 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay. Looking at Vicious Bites, increases the damage of Mangle by 5%, 10, 15%. Right to Bear Arms. Oh, Blizzard, you are so funny. It's funny because, bear arms, like, you're a bear and you have bear arms. Oh my gosh, that's so Blizzard. Mangle increased the duration of Frenzied Regeneration by 2 seconds. Oh wow. So, if you keep an eye on it, you can essentially just keep buffing the Frenzied Regeneration by 2 seconds. Mangle, I don't even remember what the cooldown on Mangle is, but an additional 2 seconds is a big deal. Warriors would kill for that kind of stuff, that's for sure. Grasping Roots. Your Entangling Roots will spread to nearby targets which do not have Entangling Roots. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, you drop Entangling Roots down, and then while they're out, they're going to start to spread and branch out and try to entrap other enemies in the area or close to the initial target. That's kind of cool. That's this kind of skill or, attachment to a skill that makes me wonder why that type of thing wasn't in the game already. Seems like the kind of thing that would have been a logical conclusion or next step for Entangling Roots, but hey, that's cool. It's in there now, so not a bad thing. Jagged Claws increases your bleed damage by 5%, 10%, 15%, so good damage buffs there. Ion Cannon. When your Moonfire expires, you gain 50 rage. Oh, wow. So I feel like they're making a Star Wars reference there, that's for sure. But, dang, 50 rage when Moonfire expires? Moonfire doesn't last that long either, so that's, not a long time to wait for 50 rage. Bestial Fortitude increases your stamina by 2%, 3%, 6%, and 10%. Let's go back over here. Wild Flesh increases the periodic healing of your Frenzied Regeneration by 10%, 20, 30%. Wow. And then Sharpened Instincts increases the effectiveness of survival instincts by 3, 6, 10%. Perpetual Spring reduces the cooldown of Bark Skin by 3 seconds. Oh wow. 6 and 10 seconds. Bark Skin's like a big deal too. Like that's not a small ability. Like Bark Skin wins games. That's okay. 10 seconds. That's a substantial cooldown reduction too. I imagine you can buff it with these as well. 13 seconds. Yeah, holy crap. 16 seconds. $20 seconds. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, whether or not that's actually ideal or not with all of the relics or not, that's yet to be seen. It'd be kind of cool if you could actually like use whichever relic you want, whichever build you wanted, and there really wasn't a best in slot situation. I know that's never going to happen because it's an MMO and that's just how MMOs work, but that'd be cool. Mauler increases the critical strike chance of Maul by 3%, 6%, 10%. Particularly an Embrace of the Nightmare. While Rage of the Sleeper is active, you are immune to crowd control and deal 33% increased damage. Generate 33% more rage and leech 33% of damage dealt. Oh wow. So that's just a flat 1/3 buff to everything you're doing at that moment. Jeez. Adaptive Fur. Elemental damage has a chance to trigger Adaptive Fur, reducing damage from that element, oh wow, by 20% for 15 seconds. That's actually really cool. See, like stuff like that, I'm thinking this is just making Guardian Druids look even better for RBGs. Because, I mean, you got fire damage, frost damage, nature damage. I mean, you're going to have at least a couple sources of each type of that damage in any, raid group you're going to have. So, it's like, just having that, and depending on what the internal cooldown on that is, like, that's going to be a big deal. And then Heart of the Woods. While Bark Skin is active, you are embraced by the forest. The first 3 strikes that would deal more than 20% of your life are absorbed by the trees. That's actually really kind of cool. I really hope that there's like trees out there like that just like absorb the blow. They just like but I think just an initial look at the artifact weapon alone, I mean without looking at the talents or abilities, just between the active effect on the weapon, Adaptive Fur itself, the growing roots, that kind of thing, I'm just like, this makes them sound like they are going to be, or even, Heart of the Woods here, like all these abilities, like these actual like critical, engaging and epic abilities, whether they're activates or active abilities or not, or just passives, like this makes Guardian Druids sound like they're going to be in a good spot for flag carrying in RBGs come Legion, which I'm hopeful for, simply because, again, if you enjoy playing a Guardian Druid, it's like there should be a place for you in PvP. You shouldn't be shut out of PvP just because you're a tank spec. Like, I feel like there should be a place for it. Now, getting to that point is tricky because that's lots of lines of code and balance and all that stuff that I have no experience in. But, I mean, I always feel bad when it's like, I want a PvP, says someone you just met or a friend, and it's like, but I play this and nobody wants to PvP with that. And it's like, well, dang, because you get it, but then you're like, well, it's not really fair either. So hopefully stuff like this is the beginning of a new era of WoW where people are able to actually play what they want in any scenario or situation and be able to get away with it regardless of best in slot or not. So, but anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I am exhausted. I want to say again, same as yesterday's video, thank you so much for bearing with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. If you haven't already, please do feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Shooting for that 500 sub goal come summer. So if you want to help me get there, that would be much appreciated. Feel free to follow me on any of the social media sites I have linked and listed here on the page. You can find my personal Instagram up below in the channel banner, where I post pictures pretty much every day of some of the stuff I do, which ends up being a lot of food and pictures of my puppy. You can find me on Twitter, where I tweet stuff randomly and kind of share a little bit more of my personal side of life and just getting to know me more or less. And but it's a good opportunity for me to get to know you guys as well and connect with you, reach out to you, And that I do link my videos there as well. And then, of course, you can find me on Facebook with the link provided below, where you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. So, alright guys, that's going to do it for me. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.